Okay, so let's continue on, but this time we're going to be dividing rational expressions. So, 1/3 divided by 1/10 can also be written as 1/3, and the inverse of division is multiplication. And if we take the inverse of this, I need to take the inverse of this, which is 10/1. I can't factor anything here, so I just simply have 10/3. So our steps would be inverse of division, then also the multiplicative inverse, if I could spell it right. No. I'm having a problem with my spelling. Okay, so if I do that with this one, let's do that with rational expressions. So I would just rewrite this one, which is 3x to the 4th over 10. Inverse of division is multiplication, so I'm going to take the inverse, multiplicative inverse of this fraction, which would be 11 over 2x plus 7. Okay. All right, so let's factor this one at the same time. So if we have 7/3, now we have still 7 divided by 3. And what am I going to do with this division sign? Turn it into multiplication. And if I turn that into multiplication, I also have to take the inverse, which is 3 times 3 over 7. Cross out the 7. Cross out one of the 3's, which equals 3. Just 3.
No.
Yes. You leave it as 10/3. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to cross anything out. Okay, so the only thing we have different with this one is we're still taking the inverse of division. And then we're also we're factoring and doing the multiplicative. I did. Oh, this one? There's nothing else to do with it. Oh, yes, there is. No, there's not. Isn't this the quantity? Because there's an addition sign in there? So now it would just be 3. Oh, we should simplify it to 33 x to the 4th over 10 times 2x plus 7. Thank you so much. That's it. Nothing else can be simplified, right? Okay, so let's do this one. It's a little more complicated, right? But basically exactly what we did yesterday. So 1 over, let's factor as we go. How can I factor 6n minus 6? More than that. What do they both have in common? 6. Right? What am I going to do with this division? And if I turn that into multiplication, I also have to turn this one around, right? So how would I factor n squared minus n? Minus 1. All over 2. And then I just simply factor. So get rid of that. Get rid of my common factors. N over 12 is correct. Because 1 times n is n. Alright, why don't you guys do these two? Okay, so start by rewriting the first fraction. Then I'm going to rewrite division to be multiplication, and then I'm also going to rewrite this fraction to be its inverse. So I'm going to put the 10x cubed on the bottom, and I'm going to factor it as I write it. And then in the numerator, I'm going to put 21, but I'm going to factor that as I write it. I'm multiplying straight across. So I'm just going to draw my line straight across, and then I'm going to cancel my 5 and my 7. What else can I cancel? X squared cancels. I'm left with 3 over 2x. Okay, this one. Rewrite my first fraction. Let me change my color. So I'm going to rewrite my first fraction. But this time, I also need to factor that as well, correct? I might as well. Divided by, do I need to factor the 4? No. Okay, we're going to rewrite the division to be multiplication, and we're going to rewrite this fraction to be its inverse. So 5y is now going to go where? In the denominator. And 8x cubed is going to be where?
4 times 2 times
X times, we only need to do really x times x squared. But you're right, Cassandra, it would work too. So now, I'm multiplying straight across. So I can cancel a y, the 5, 4s, an x, and I'm left with 3 times 2 times x squared is 6x squared over, and there's a y on top. Over what? Over 1, right? Which is just 6x squared y. Try this one on your own. So let's work this out together now. So if I have n plus, these are quantities, correct? So it would just be the quantity n plus 1 over the quantity n plus 3. Division turns to multiplication. When I do that, I have to also flip this one over. So it would be quantity n plus 4 over, I'm going to factor at the same time, 2 times the quantity n plus 1. As I multiply straight across, the n plus 1's cancel, and I'm left with n plus 4 divided by 2 times n plus 3. And that's about it. The hardest ones will be stuff like where you have to start factoring it more. What's this called? Difference of squares. What about this one? How would you do this one? You could put it in the X box, or you could factor it, right? And then you'd find the common factors and just cancel. Good job, guys.